Hi there, elementary friends. Thank you for joining me today. I have a story that I have never told you before about a friend of God's named Job. But first, before we get into the story, I want to play a game. It's a game where we'll zoom into some objects and then zoom out. And before we get all the way out, I want to see if you can guess what the object is. So it'll start really close and you can guess and guess and guess as it's zooming out. Are you ready to play? Okay, here we go. So how'd you do? Did you get them right? Some of them, okay, they were probably all really easy for you. But it was a fun game to play. It's about perspective. Sometimes when something's really close and we're really focused on something, it's hard to really see the bigger picture and to understand the whole story. Are you ready to hear our story today? There once was a man named Job who lived in the land of Uz. He had many sheep and all kinds of animals. He had a large family and loved them very much. One day, God said to Satan, "Have you seen Job? He is truly good." Satan said, "No, he's not. It's easy to be good when you have so much." God said, "But he is good." Satan said, "Let's see." God said, "Do what you will." Job sat in his house and people began to come to him with terrible news. All of his sheep, cattle, and camels were stolen. A house fell on all of his children and they were killed. Job fell to the ground with heavy sadness. "I came into the world a naked baby and I will go out a naked old man. Blessed be to God." God said, "See, he's good. He did not curse me." Satan said, "No, he's not. He lost a lot, but he wasn't hurt. Let's see what happens if he's in pain." God agreed. Job grew sick. He had disgusting sores all over his body. He itched and burned. He couldn't sleep or move without pain. His wife said, "Curse God and die." Job said, "No, we accept good from God, so why not accept what is bad?" 3 friends came to be with him in his misery. They sat with him, but then they thought God must be punishing him. Job said, "No, I'm a good person, even if I hurt and am sad. I will curse the day I was born, but I won't curse God." His friends thought he was lying. They said he must have done something bad. Job said his friends were unkind. A 4th person came. He was very young and became angry. He said he had been afraid to speak. But now in his anger, he wanted Job to know that Job was wrong. You must have done something bad. You just don't know what it is. And suddenly a whirlwind came across the fields toward them. Job heard God's voice. in its terrible turning. God said, "Where were you when I created the earth? What do you know about my ways?" Job said, "I have no more to say." God said, "Do you know where the light and the darkness call home? Do you send forth the rain? Do you teach the waves where to stop? Did you tell the sun when to rise? Do you hunt the food for the lionesses?" Job said, "I have tried to say things too wonderful for me to know. I still know nothing about your ways, but now I know you." God was angry with the friends of Job and told them that they also did not know what they were talking about. Now they needed to say that they were sorry to Job and to God. Job lived for many more years. His sores went away and he healed. His family grew once more. He grew rich again. He accepted all of this and took no credit for it because he had met God face to face. I wonder what part of the story you like best. I wonder if you've ever been given a new perspective, a new way to look at things. Does it sometimes help? I wonder how Job felt when God reminded Job that God created everything, and that God knew everything, and that God cared for everything and everyone. I wonder how his friends felt. I wonder if you find yourself in this story. Maybe were you Job? Maybe you were one of the friends. I wonder what you hear God say to you today in this story. Boys and girls, sometimes we can get really focused and zoomed in on something that's going on in our lives that we forget that God holds the whole picture, that God knows the whole story of our lives and of creation, and that you are always an important part of the plan, and that God will always take care of you, just like God is always taking care of all of God's creation. Because God loves you and you are valuable to God. So boys and girls, I hope you have a wonderful week. I hope you enjoy thinking about this story, maybe drawing a picture, gathering up some of your animals, and telling the story. I love you. I'll see you next week. Bye.